But this here, guys, is so fantastic. This has been a dream of ours, you know, back when I was a child. Wow, that's good smoke. It is beautiful and dripping right now. Look at the size of this thing. Oh. Good morning, everyone. Papa Pepper back here at the Abundant Harvest Homestead today. I've got my work cut out for me. Well, the sheep are camped out over here. No new lambs yet. All those ewes, except for the little white one, should be pregnant. They look very pregnant, should be coming soon. They should have all got bred around the same time. But I don't know, that one had her little ram show up way quicker than the rest. So last night, if you caught the tail end of the last video, I did go and pick up a load of stuff. I got some of this. This is a little beat up. Doesn't look perfect, but it's super tough. We had to take it down at a job and then fix it up. I did get a couple square bales of, well, little packaged bales from the store of straw, so I was using those for the pasture build project over there. And then I got carpet underlayment. That's going to be the big one for today. But it's cold, it's still drizzly. I've got some stuff going on, and I'm also going to be shooting another video that'll maybe come out Saturday night now, Sunday sometime. I'm going to try a different thing in my smoker. So because it's so wet, I got a little bit of my favorite tinder with me. My favorite tinder is actually dryer lint. This stuff is amazing. That's why you got to clear it out of your catch, you know, in your dryer. But I'm gonna get a little fire going here, and once that's roaring, I guess I'll have to drop that stuff off. Yeah, I'll figure it all out. But the big one is going to be using that carpet underlayment today. Boy, if I can get that done. This has been like more than a year in the making. Kind of like my root cellar. But you know, we do things as we have opportunity. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys, Papa Pepper at the Abundant Harvest Homestead once again. Got this temporary little smoker set up. Got a little bit of smoke going, fire going, and I've actually got, this is from one of our rams we harvested. And these are just kind of the back leg part with the bone in. And I think what I'm gonna do is actually just drill a hole through the bone, put them on a stick, and let them hang over here. That's the plan. Well, that's good smoke. And we're gonna see. I've got a number of hours today, so I'll see if I just can't leave it up for the majority of the day and see how it turns out by the time we get done. I'll try to drill a hole in here. Let's see if we can hang up this meat. Whoa. Okay, see that? We got a hole straight through. So we'll take this, and I'll put that all the way through. We're gonna hang that meat. There we go. Wow guys, that's looking pretty good. And actually I'm just gonna include it in this video rather than make a whole separate video. I think by the time I get done, I may just put it in a Dutch oven down here on the coals, but I'm just gonna let it smoke for as long as it can. And I'm probably also gonna at some point take like a fillet knife and jab a bunch of holes in it from every which direction. And I may eventually kind of take them where they're hanging and lean them up on each other's sticks to kind of get that side more and let the top get more, and then flip them the other way too. So we'll see, but so far I think so good. Alright guys, pretty excited today because I did get that padding that goes under carpet. Somebody nearby me had ripped that out of their place because they're redoing their floors. Here is the area I'm working in. I've still got all this stuff that came out of the hole. It gets pretty deep in there. And I'm going to put a cave down there too, so the fish have somewhere to hide, especially like if a raccoon or something comes, they can get deep enough, far enough away. And it kind of slopes that way. I'm going to build up the edge a little bit more, but also that's going to kind of be the spillway as it heads over towards some fruit trees and stuff like that. So happy to be doing this after a year or so of waiting. Here we go. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of making the edges and ledges the way that I want. I want a slope coming into there to a shallow area. I want it to come down here to a whole other deeper area. Here, I want a nice ledge. One thing you can do with the ledges too is I can, once I put the liner in, I can add a little bit of soil along there, a couple rocks along the edge to prevent it from disappearing, all the soil from washing over the edge, and then put some plants here that can grow up. They'll help filter the water, keep it clean, keep it oxygenated and stuff like that too, but it can be a good place for them to grow. So I want a good ledge on this side. Here it's gonna be a little steeper, it's gonna be a little ledge over here. And then down here in the pit is where we're gonna have a cave, a little hidey hole for them. So that's what I'm working on right now. So there's actually a lot that goes into kind of having a pond that's going to be able to support life of fish. There's more I could put into this, but what I did want is varying depths. I do want some plants in here and stuff for oxygen. And I also want some safe places for them that they can hide in. There's a lot more I could do. This is the first pond we're putting on our property, and also, you know, with the children, I do have a hugel mound on this side, so nobody's gonna really come across there. There's a little entrance over there, which I could gate as well. And then I could do the same thing over here. So for a young child to make it all the way over here on their own, they'd have to get past one gate already. And then they'd either have to climb over this hugel mound or go around. There's different natural barriers and other barriers that we're putting in place to kind of keep this to be safe. There's a lot of really sharp rocks in there, so that's where the underlayment's going to come into play. I'm going to put that down and we'll see how it goes from there. Well, if you take a peek at that, you can see I'm a little bit short. I'm gonna go see if he's got any more. I didn't want to take a whole bunch and have extra, but I don't mind having, you know, layers down at the bottom either, where the most pressure is going to be from the water. So I'll go see if I can get some more and we'll continue from there. So here I flipped those up like I was talking about. This one's attached to this one, resting on top of that one. That one's attached to that one, resting on top of this one. They're up there above the smoke, above the heat, and then I will reverse them where this one is on that side and flip back this way, and this one's on this side, flip back that way. So just to get the sides, and then probably am going to need to finish them in a Dutch oven. I don't have all night today. I plan on eating just after sundown, so they're gonna be ready by then. However, we gotta get there. All right, look at it. Happiness, guys. Okay, a couple things. Number one, I don't always want to jack all of somebody's stuff, so I left this up there originally. And number two, I don't want to bring more junk onto here than I am going to use or need. So I left this, but it's gonna be enough to finish the job, and then I got all of his, you know, carpet padding cleaned up. So that's a good thing. It'll definitely be enough to finish that last section, so let's get it laid in and see what it looks like. Well, just look at it, guys. It is beautiful. And a lot of times this stuff winds up in a landfill where people just dig a big hole in the earth and they throw it in the hole. But this is different. This is different. So now I do have a couple sticks and rocks on the perimeter. You guys can see some of that holding it in place. I will make sure to remove those as I spread out the liner. But this gives us a nice, soft place for that pond liner to go. It takes some stuff that was otherwise junk, cleans it up off of somebody else's property, and puts it on mine in a useful way. So I do love free, I do love upcycling. You know, there are other ways of doing this. People suggest, you know, putting down clay or bentonite clay first, or straw, or other things. To me, this will do the trick. And although I'm not always into bringing, you know, foreign materials onto my property, I like just using whatever's natural. But this will serve its purpose, and I'm looking forward to seeing what this looks like one day. I mean, honestly, with all the progress going on our land, I can't wait to see it this summer as it all gets vibrant. So now I got to try to find the pond liner, and I'll check the meat again. But the pond liner's in the shipping container. Mama Pepper wants us to be clearing that out. So this will be a good opportunity to clear some of it out. It'll help. So I switched the meats. They seem to be doing well. I'm going to stoke up this fire a little bit, but a lot of heat and a lot of smoke coming out of there. So it is doing what I want it to do. And guys, again, this is one of our rams that we raised. So this is homegrown meat cooked in a very natural way. We'll see how we like it. Just look at how much smoke that cranks out too when you just lay down all the logs flat. That is cool, easily adjustable. A lot of heat. I can't wait to taste that. Next time I come back over, I'll pierce it through a bunch of times with a fillet knife just to let out some of the more juices and allow the smoke to penetrate it more. But wow, that is rolling. And I found the pond liner. I've had this thing probably 2 years or more. Bought it up at Menards a long time ago. Man, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. So finally happy to be putting it to use. We do plan on putting in some bigger ponds for fish and other things, but those will probably not have a pond liner in them. They'll be made differently. So just happy to get the first one in. It adds a little bit of biodiversity to our property. Adds kind of a little bit of a microclimate to the garden area. Just one more thing too for, you know, snakes and lizards and different creatures, birds, to be able to enjoy up in the garden area, because a lot of those are on our organic pest control posse. So let's get this in. So I did add that little piece down there too of kind of a thicker like outdoor carpet. That is going to help because I am putting a couple rocks here built up with a flat one on top of it, so it'll just help with that. And here you can see I have a 14 foot by 21 foot pond liner. So it says you can go 9 feet wide, 16 feet long, and 18 inches deep. But we're obviously going deeper than 18 inches. I don't know if you guys can see that there, center screen. So I'm thinking we should be able to do this with it if my calculations are correct. So I know when I was digging it, I kind of staked it all out, measured it all up, got it all ready, and then we went to do that. So hopefully it'll work. So you can see my measurements were pretty good. I got it where I wanted it to be. I thought this pond would be enough to take care of
the liner that we had, and I'd say at this point it looks like a true story. But before I lay in any of the stones, I'm actually going to add some water to get this side down where it needs to be, just to make sure it's at the depth it needs to be. And once we've got some weight in here, then I will add in the little cave and maybe a couple on this ledge. But so far I'm liking the way it looks. I think I'm going to pull it this way a little bit, make sure I got it up this edge, and we'll see how far we get today. Today I just wanted to get this in and started, and we'll see what happens from there.